Hey everyone, Josh here, CEO at Visto.ai with another huge update as AI document generation is now hitting Canadian immigration. Now, as many of you know, at Visto, we already make preparing, managing, running your immigration law firm in Canada that much easier, that much faster. We already have things like AI research and drafting tools, and now we've made it much easier to draft, use, send for e-sign documents to your clients all in one place. So I'm going to show you two really quick use cases of how this can be super helpful. Number one, maybe the most popular and commonly used document, the retainer. Right? So the way you can create new documents in Visto is twofold. Number one, you can just use your own template. You all probably have them, right? At least if you've been around for a little while, you probably have your own templates for all these documents. We also have the option to create documents with AI, which I'm going to show you in just a second. Let's say you want to get started with a client. You sign someone up for express entry and you want to send them a retainer. I'm going to call this a retainer, and internally I'm going to call it an express entry retainer because I'm only going to use this one for my express entry clients. Right? Now what happens when I click create is you're going to come into the document builder, and I'm going to come over because we all have our fancy schmancy templates, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy paste it right here. Right? Now what we can do here is create this document once with any variables that we'd like and use it over and over again for now on. Right? So for example, I don't actually need this information here because Visto is able to pre-save and generate a header for you with your logo and law firm information. And then at the bottom, we also make it easy to include your footer. So I'm just going to click footer. Now, what's more important here as well is I can set variables for almost anything. So I personally like to have the date at the top of my retainers. So I'm just going to click on the right side here. You can see this huge list of variables, conditions, all that kind of stuff. And I'm just going to click on today's date. And instead of having to go in and type my client's name out every time, I'm just going to click on full name under my client. And it's going to pull my client's full name. Maybe I want stuff like their country of residence. Maybe I want their UCI. I'm going to scroll down. I'm just doing this really quick, but you can see there's a lot of opportunities here. Under the communication section, I like to put my client email. Well, I don't have to copy paste that anymore because Visto will do it for me. And then at the bottom, I also obviously want their signature. So I'm going to click client signature and I'm going to click client sign date. And then I'm going to go up to the top. Obviously, I'm going to review it a few times, click save, right? But this is just a quick example. So now I have my retainer and I'm ready to start loading up clients into Visto and preparing their applications. All I have to do is go into my client page, and under documents, I can see retainers, and I'm going to click on new retainer. And now I have all of my templates, right? So I'm going to pick the representative, that's going to be me, and I can just click here on retainer, express entry, and send it to them in one more click. So instead of having all these different retainers and having to update them and personalize them every single time, Visto makes that quick and easy. You can see I got it prepped and ready to go in about 1 minute, and you probably can too. Now we're going to get to the fun stuff, right? Obviously retainers are a little bit fun, but the fun stuff is using things like AI to make even more dynamic documents, right? So I'm going to start prepping my express entry cover letter. Now, as you can see here, I have an old express entry cover letter. What I want to do is make it customizable for any of my clients, but I also want to touch it up a bit because I'm not sure if my language is good or anything like that. So I'm going to click create with AI. And what I can do is I can give some basic instructions like, hey, please draft me a cover letter for my express entry clients. Or I can actually give the AI my template, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to copy and paste it. And that's it, right? I'm going to leave it at that. I'm not going to do anything else. I'm going to click continue. Then what we do is we give you a few options, right? So which perspective is this document from? Is it from you as an immigration lawyer or consultant? Is it from the perspective of the applicant, right? Because you could use this to generate any document you want. Invitation letters, affidavits, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to pick lawyer and consultant here. Document length, let's keep it as standard. You can see we have a few, options for you to add to, tone of voice and executive summaries and stuff like that. So I'm going to click settings here. There's a quick review page, and then I'm going to click generate. And what you're going to see is a couple things. Number one is it's going to take my template and generate a document. But the other thing it's going to do is the Visto AI will add in these conditions for me. So now I don't even have to go through the document and add in where I want my client's name or date of birth or anything like that. right? You can see it's all been generated for me. And when I click continue, I can give it a name. So we're going to call it Express Entry Cover Letter. And I'm going to click create. And it's going to take me back to that builder. So I can always go in and edit it, touch it up. In this case, hey, it's left out my header. So I want to click enter, and I'm going to add in my law firm header to the top of the document. And I want my footer at the bottom of the document, right? And oh, it got the, it put this as a number, so I'm just going to delete this and I'm going to make it a bullet point. You can touch it up, do whatever you want, and then click save. Now, when I'm preparing applications in Visto, because this is actually one of the most helpful things that Visto does, we make it very quick and easy to prep documents, manage your clients' applications, all that kind of stuff. So now I'm actually prepping this Express Entry application, and I just come down under the Visto Copilot document drafting, and I click Draft Document. And now, all I have to do is find that document I want to use, Express Entry Cover Letter, and what you'll see is it's going to load that document with that client's information loaded in for me, right? I represent Sam Smith, here's their date of birth, blah, 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 and it's got everything that I need. And if I click generate, it'll stick the header on, it'll stick the footer on. So this is going to make drafting, first of all, creating templates, drafting them, and generating custom versions for your clients super fast. The other thing too that I'm not even going to touch on right now is, as I said, you can use this for anything. You can do it for affidavits, you could do it for invitation letters, you can do it for any other documents that you've been using templates for, can now be done in seconds. You load it, you prep it once, you use it over and over again. So anyways, hopefully you found this helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out, or if you are interested, make sure to go to visto.ai, visto.ai to learn more or reach out to me directly. Thanks very much, and I'll see you in the next video.